Welcome, beloved friends, to a space of reflection, hope, and renewal, where the teachings of Jesus are not approached as distant history, but as living wisdom meant to be breathed into our daily lives. For his words were never spoken only to the crowds of long ago, but to every searching heart across time, calling us into a way of living rooted in love, truth, humility, and compassion. When Jesus spoke, he did not merely offer rules to follow, but revealed a path to transformation, inviting us to see God not as distant or harsh, but as a loving Father who desires relationship more than ritual, mercy more than sacrifice, and hearts made whole rather than lives bound by fear. His teachings gently turn the world's values upside down, blessing the meek, lifting the poor in spirit, honoring peacemakers, and reminding us that true greatness is found in service, not power, and that the kingdom of God is discovered within, in choices made quietly, faithfully, and with love. As we explore his words, we are invited to slow down in a hurried world, to listen beyond the noise, and to rediscover a stillness where truth becomes clear and the soul finds rest. Jesus teaches us to love even when it costs us, to forgive not because it is easy, but because it frees the heart, and to trust God's timing when answers seem delayed, reminding us that faith grows strongest not in comfort, but in surrender. His life itself becomes the message, showing that compassion heals, humility leads, and obedience brings life, even through suffering, and that no failure, doubt, or brokenness places us beyond the reach of grace. These teachings challenge us, comfort us, and call us to live differently, not by withdrawing from the world, but by becoming light within it, reflecting kindness in harsh places, hope in weary hearts, and peace amid uncertainty. As you begin this journey into the teachings of Jesus, come not as one who has all the answers, but as one willing to listen, to be shaped, and to be transformed, trusting that his words still heal, still guide, and still lead us into a deeper understanding of God, of ourselves, and of the love that holds all things together. My beloved child, listen with the ears of your heart, and not merely with the hearing of the flesh. For I speak to you now as a shepherd speaks to the sheep he loves. And I ask you to remain with these words until their end, not because fear compels you, but because love desires to awaken you, for nothing in your life has escaped the sight of the Father who sees in secret and rewards openly, and know this from the beginning. You are known, you are seen, you are chosen not for your strength, but for your willingness, not for your perfection, but for your openness to truth. And as the Father has known every sparrow that falls, so he has known every step you have taken, every tear you have shed, every question you have whispered in the dark. Do not think that you have arrived here by chance, for no one comes to truth unless the Father draws them, and even now your steps are guided so that your eyes may be open to what stirs around you, for the adversary walks not always as a roaring lion, but often as a gentle voice clothed in reason, a smile wrapped in deception, a promise that sounds like freedom but leads to quiet captivity. And I tell you this not to trouble your spirit, but to steady it, not to fill you with dread, but to clothe you with discernment. For blessed are those who watch and pray, and blessed are those whose lamps are filled with oil when the night deepens. Do not be afraid when you sense that something unseen presses close, for before danger ever approached you, the Father had already placed his hand upon you, and no one can snatch from his hand what belongs to him. And though the enemy may seek you, he cannot overtake you unless you surrender your peace, so guard it as a treasure. Remember how I said that the kingdom of God is within you, not announced with spectacle, not proven by noise, but revealed in stillness. And when the world grows loud with opinions, demands, and fears, return to that inner room where you've met me before. Not in thunder or earthquake, but in the gentle whisper that steadies your soul, for there I am waiting, as I have always waited, patient and near. The days ahead will test many hearts, and confusion will dress itself as wisdom, and many will say, "This is the truth," while others cry, "No, follow this way," and even the faithful may feel their footing slip, but understand this. Truth does not vanish when voices multiply. It only hides itself from those who refuse to be still. So be still and know that I am God, for stillness is not weakness, but strength restrained, power held in humility, and those who walk in stillness are not easily trapped, for the enemy cannot follow where pride has no footing, I did not choose you because you were without wounds, for I saw them clearly and loved you still, nor because your faith never trembled. For I saw your doubts and named them seeds, knowing they would grow into deeper trust. And when you wrestled with silence and asked where God was, He was present in your wrestling, shaping endurance within you. For unanswered prayers were not rejection but preparation, and delays were not denial but design, because what is being formed in you carries weight, fragrance, and purpose beyond what you can yet see. When the shadow draws near, it will test your heart not with obvious evil but with subtle offers, shortcuts to significance, applause without obedience, belonging without truth. But remember that not every open door is sent from heaven, and not every embrace is safe, for some gather only to consume. So guard your heart with wisdom, and do not answer accusation with anger or pride, for the meek inherit the earth, and humility is a shield the enemy does not recognize. And when you are misunderstood, bless rather than curse, for every arrow sent in malice will fall powerless before it reaches you when you stand in love, because the Father Himself stands between you and harm. You may ask why darkness is allowed to approach at all, and the answer is this: light is not revealed in comfort but in contrast, and faith is not proven when all is calm but when trust stands firm amid shaking. And the pressure you feel is not destruction but formation, the beginning of something holy being shaped within you, for God does not delight in suffering but in awakening. And even your pain surrendered becomes a teacher, and every wound can become a window through which compassion enters the world. There will be nights when the unseen feels heavy, when anxiety presses close and words feel distant, but do not panic, for you need not speak many phrases, only remember the name above every name, even if only in breath, for where my name is remembered in truth, darkness cannot remain, since God does not dwell in temples built by hands alone, but in hearts where love chooses trust. And you are not a beggar knocking at heaven's gate, you are a dwelling place prepared by grace. Understand also that the trap prepared for many is not blatant wickedness but endless distraction, the glitter of things that promise satisfaction yet leave the soul empty, mirrors that reflect other lives and whisper that you are lacking. But turn your eyes away from such mirrors and look instead to the Father, for He is the true mirror who reveals who you are, whole, beloved, breathed into being with divine intention, and no lie has the authority to redefine you. If loneliness follows you even among crowds, do not assume rejection, for often separation precedes purpose. And those called to see deeply are often misunderstood, and this is both burden and gift. For you were not made for shallow noise, but for the quiet heights where heaven touches earth. And when you feel apart, it may be because you are being drawn closer. Do not think your prayers fall to the ground unheard, for every sigh is gathered, every tear remembered, and silence does not mean absence. For sometimes God speaks by waiting, sometimes by withholding, sometimes by removing, but always by love, and His timing is never careless, for even unseen moments are weaving a future that will unfold with beauty greater than you imagine when storms rise. Do not curse them, for the rain that frightens you carries seeds you have prayed for, and the thunder that shakes you announces the clearing of what no longer serves life. And you will not drown if your eyes remain fixed above the waves, for even the sea recognizes the voice of its maker. You are not meant to understand every mystery now, for some truths require strength to carry, but trust this: nothing in your life has been random. Closed doors have protected you. Departures have made room. Lingering pain has taught you mercy, and nothing surrendered is wasted, not even tears, for they become rain for another's field. The adversary cannot claim what belongs to God. He can only distract, distort, and delay, and his greatest tool is deception that slowly erodes truth through comfort and compromise. So live gently, speak honestly, forgive quickly, for bitterness binds the soul, and remember that silence rooted in trust starves the enemy, while rest in God makes the heart unassailable. You will see others stumble, even those who once walked beside you, but do not judge, for wounds are not always visible, and mercy reflects God more clearly than condemnation. And when you choose mercy, you step into divine likeness. Your eyes are being trained to discern not only words but intentions, not for control or suspicion, but for compassion. For many who appear certain are inwardly afraid, and gentleness disarms what force cannot. There will come a time when what you built seems to fall apart, but do not despair, for sometimes God dismantles what you love to reveal what you need, and foundations are often uncovered only when walls collapse, and what feels like loss will reveal itself as redirection toward what endures. Know this deeply. You cannot fail God, for even your faith is sustained by Him, and your weakness does not repel Him but draws Him near. For grace enters through cracks, and presence matters more than performance. Truth will divide in the season ahead, and some will walk away because they cannot follow where you are led. But bless them, for what is truly yours will not be lost. Only what is temporary will fall away, and new companions will come carrying humility rather than ambition, and together you will rise quietly, like dawn over tired land. When fear says you are alone, answer with trust. When doubt predicts failure, answer with faithfulness. When despair says there is no way, remember that the way walks with you, and these are not empty words but shields of light. Be mindful of your speech, for words are seeds, and even one word of kindness can awaken hope where despair ruled, for love works quietly yet reshapes the world. Notice the small assurances along your path, for God often speaks through gentle reminders, patterns, encounters, and timely kindness, all whispers saying you are seen and guided. Do not strain for strength is supplied, as the ocean does not strive to be deep, but yields to gravity. So yield to divine rhythm, and even weariness will become worship. Remember how deception first entered not through force, but through questioning trust, and so remain rooted in wonder rather than control, for evil often begins with doubt disguised as wisdom. Trials do not mean abandonment, for even Job was held, and suffering often becomes the birthplace of endurance. And though darkness multiplies noise, it cannot withstand truth, for one word of light unmasks many lies. Temptation will repeat old patterns, offering comfort over obedience, spectacle over trust, power over devotion, but truth spoken quietly is stronger than manipulation. Do not obsess over darkness. Neither deny it nor fear it, but fix your gaze on light, for peace is armor and balance is refuge. Opposition often follows revelation, and resistance confirms direction, and every act of compassion weakens cruelty's hold. Freedom requires choice, and every choice toward love diminishes darkness, for the greatest battles are fought in unseen decisions. Be a lamp where cruelty reigns, for quiet goodness tears holes in despair. Your imagination shapes paths, so fill it with gratitude, for gratitude confuses despair and builds walls of light. Know this mystery: the darker the night, the nearer the dawn, and you are not a victim but a vessel, and evil trembles not at noise but at love lived faithfully. And when anger rises, pause. When temptation flatters, breathe. When despair thickens, look upward, for even clouds cannot erase the sun, and the impulse toward kindness within you is the signature of God Himself. Holy and loving Father, source of all light and keeper of my soul, I come before you now in reverent stillness, laying down every distraction, every fear, every restless thought, and I ask you to draw my heart fully into your presence, for you alone know me completely. You alone have seen every step of my journey, every hidden tear, every silent question, and every hope I have not yet dared to name. I thank you that nothing in my life has been unseen or forgotten by you, that before I ever sought you, you were already surrounding me with mercy, guiding my path with wisdom I could not yet understand. And I confess that there are moments when I feel the weight of uncertainty pressing against my spirit, moments when the world feels loud and confusing, when truth seems buried beneath countless voices. Yet even then I choose to trust that you remain unshaken, eternal and near. Lord, quiet my heart so I may hear you, not in fear or chaos, but in the gentle whisper of your Spirit, teaching me to rest in you, reminding me that stillness is strength and surrender is not weakness but trust. Protect me from deception that comes disguised as comfort, from distractions that pull my eyes away from what is eternal, and from subtle lies that promise fulfillment while slowly emptying the soul. And grant me discernment, rooted in humility, that I may recognize what leads me closer to your love and what draws me away from it. When I feel tested, Father, Remind me that trials do not mean abandonment, that pressure is often preparation, and that you are shaping within me a faith refined by endurance, not built on ease. Help me to remember that my worth does not come from achievement or approval, but from belonging to you, that I am not striving to earn your love, but learning to dwell within it. When loneliness touches my heart, teach me to see it not as rejection, but as invitation, calling me deeper into communion with you, away from noise and into truth. I ask you to guard my heart against bitterness, to soften me where pain has tried to harden me, and to teach me forgiveness even when it feels costly, trusting that mercy is not loss but freedom. When storms rise around me or within me, help me lift my eyes above the waves, anchoring my hope in your faithfulness, knowing that you command even the unseen currents and that no storm is sent without purpose. Lord, I surrender my questions to you, the answers I do not yet have, the doors that have closed, the relationships that have changed, and the waiting seasons that test my patience, believing that your timing is not delay but design, and that you are weaving beauty even when I cannot see the pattern. Teach me to walk gently in a harsh world, to speak life where decay surrounds me, to choose compassion over judgment, humility over pride, and love over fear, remembering that small acts of kindness carry eternal weight. Protect my mind, Father, for I know that battles often begin in thought, and help me replace anxiety with gratitude, despair with hope, and resentment with trust, for I desire a heart aligned with your peace. When I encounter resistance as I move toward what is good, remind me that opposition is not a sign to retreat but often confirmation that I am walking in light. Help me not to cling to what is fading, but to open my hands willingly so. You may fill them with what lasts, and when what I have built falls apart, give me grace to trust that you are revealing a stronger foundation beneath. Lord, train my eyes to see beyond appearances, my ears to hear beyond words, and my spirit to respond with compassion rather than suspicion, knowing that many who appear strong are quietly wounded. Keep me from obsession with darkness or fear of unseen things, fixing my gaze instead on your goodness. For I know that peace is armor and love is authority. Strengthen me to remain faithful in small, unseen choices, understanding that victory is often won quietly in daily obedience. When I feel weak, remind me that your strength is made perfect in weakness. And when I doubt, remind me that even my faith is sustained by you. Guide my words so they become seeds of hope rather than harm. And let my life reflect your light not through noise or force, but through consistency, gentleness, and truth. Help me to notice the subtle reminders of your presence along my path, the unexpected encouragements, the timely kindness, the quiet reassurances that I am not alone. Teach me to flow with your rhythm rather than strain against it, to rest when you call me to rest, and to move when you call me forward, trusting that obedience leads to peace. I place my future in your hands, my fears at your feet, and my heart in your keeping, confident that nothing formed against me can prosper when I abide in you. And above all, Father, keep me rooted in love, for love casts out fear, love endures all things, and love reflects you most clearly. And I ask all of this not in my own strength but in humble trust, believing that you who began a good work in me will be faithful to complete it, now and always. Amen.